As far as capital cities in the country are concerned, Adelaide and Perth are number 1 and 2, and it is a clear gap to number 3, which is Brisbane. Okay, so that's the opportunity. So we are talking about the best of the best. A lot of opportunity in both cities. For me, we've been operating in Adelaide for a little bit longer. So for me, generally, a lot of the suburbs that we were looking at 2 years ago are now extremely heated or have sort of come off the entry point for us. So I'd probably say at a high level that Perth is probably a year or so behind Adelaide, which might mean you've got stronger opportunity to allocate and to acquire properties there right now as of Adelaide. But it's not talking more about the longer term or the mid to longer term potential. It's just more talking about Perth is probably a little bit, or Adelaide is a little bit further along in that growth cycle. For me, which one's poised for stronger growth within the next 5 years? From us, from a data perspective at the moment, we've seen this the concentration of suburbs. They're both showing that they are really similar in terms of a data perspective, but for us, we are buying more properties there right now because we can acquire them and enter into them with better negotiations. We have more choice and we have slightly less heat in the market. So for us, we are preferring Perth right now from an acquisition perspective, but that's not to say that if we get the right deal in Adelaide, we are definitely looking there very strongly for clients right now. Overall, longer term, I would probably say, like, gun to our head, Perth. When you're talking longer term, over the next 5 years, it's very hard to pick them. But over the longer term, I'm starting to move back towards Perth just because it is a larger city and it is potentially, it is already, but far more likely to become more of a global city. All right, so it has, external driving growth factors. Obviously, it's attached to the mining industry, which presents a lot of risk, but for us, that's been mitigated well and truly over the last 10 years. It is now truly a global city that does, it has really mitigated the risk or impact of the mining boom and bust cycle. So for us, it's potentially in the longer term Perth. In the next 5 years, we can't really pick the difference. And if you had to acquire property, Perth is probably giving us the best entry point right now. But for the right deal in Adelaide, there's some great, growth fundamentals there right as of now.